Now available in paperback and e-readers. Spellbound, a darker shade of black. Get your copy today at your favorite online bookseller. I'm not going to make a video about this DJ kid, this white male who posed as a DJ and had sex with over 600 black women and young black girls and possibly infected them with HIV, talking about how this happened because black women deify and worship white men. No, I'm not going to do that because that would be giving DJ Kid a pass and not holding him accountable for his perversion and sexual deviancy. Now, this DJ Kid, this white male, has been in the black community having sex with underage black girls and young black women ever since 2011. And this man knew that he had HIV as he was having sex with those teenage girls who were underage and these young black women, and willfully and intentionally used his body as a bioweapon and participated in germ warfare in the black community as I see it. Because for a man to know that he had HIV and go out here and have sex with an underage girl, basically what that man was doing was, again, using his penis as a weapon and using it to destroy the lives of underage young black girls before they could become adult women. And for this man to participate in that kind of behavior shows how malicious this man was and how much malice of forethought this man had, because for this man to know that he had HIV and then go out here and have sex with an underage girl, this man shows how much of a monster he is, because this man was destroying this girl's life in two ways. First, he was destroying the life of this young girl because he knew this girl was underage, and by him having sex with that girl, what he was doing was participating in sexual abuse against that young black girl. Second, he was having sex with this young black girl and then infecting her with HIV, sentencing her to a death sentence. So this monster was out here destroying the lives of young black girls two ways, and that is one of the most disgusting things I could ever see as related to this scumbag, because this man showed how little regard he had for the life of black girls by going out here and using his DJ gig to go out here and lure them with this DJ gig and his white skin, and then go out here and make promises to these young girls talking about how he's going to help them have a music career. So this monster was using this lure to bring girls in, seduce them with marijuana and liquor, and then wanting to have sex with these young black girls, all the while knowing that his body was basically a bioweapon and using that bioweapon to destroy the lives of young black girls two ways: by violating these young black girls and abusing them sexually, and then leaving them with an incurable disease that can lead to their possible deaths at an early age. And this monster sat there and did this for years with no sense of conscience, and that's what makes me so completely disgusted with this DJ Kid. This man literally came to the black community to do this because he saw so little value in black life that he thought he could just come to our community, have sex with our children, and thought that it was perfectly fine for him to do this for over 8 years and spread HIV among black people, showing how he was more about destroying the lives of black people than going out here and doing anything else but anything positive at all. He used his parties to bait and lure young black girls, and that's one of the things that really disgusts me when I think about this case. The other thing that disgusts me about this DJ Kid is how this man had been participating in sex trafficking for years, showing how this man was a sexual deviant allowed to walk around with impunity. Now this man has been arrested multiple times for this, and all the time he gets passes from our criminal justice system, even though he was out here having sex with underage girls. Our criminal justice system did nothing but give this pervert a pass and allowed him to operate with impunity in the black community, showing us that our criminal justice system does not value the life of young black girls, and this monster to be allowed to operate for so many years on places like social media, luring young black girls and using them and destroying their lives. It just shows us how much of a monster this pedophile is. And again, when I look at this case objectively, I cannot sit there and talk about the deification and worship of white men, because this white man was a sexual predator, and this sexual predator needs to be held accountable for his perverted and sexually deviant behavior, because a 13-year-old girl is not mentally acute enough to make a decision to have sex with an adult. No, this 13-year-old girl, 14-year-old girl, 15-year-old girl, she cannot make that kind of decision. And this man, a grown man in his 30s or even his 40s, he knew better than to go out here and deal with these underage girls. And the reason why he was dealing with those underage black girls, again, is because he had no value of their life. He didn't care what happened to those young black girls. And what he wanted to do was gratify himself sexually by exploiting these young black girls. And this man, in one of these cases, he's participating in cruelty to children, and he gets time served in jail. That's absolutely disgusting when I think about it. And for this pervert to go out and continue to escalate his behavior, it shows how bad our criminal justice system truly is. So they sit there and they want to talk about this guy just being a white male in some of these cases, but I see this case as far more sickening, because this pervert, again, was allowed to operate with impunity in the black community, and he used his white skin as a way to operate in the black community, which is a clear failure on the part of many of us out here, because as I see it, our men should have been at the front lines protecting these young black girls from this monster, because for this man to come into our community shows how weak our community is, because young black girls, young black women, and some of these single mothers out here, they don't know how dangerous a guy like a DJ Kid is, and our black men should have been on code to deal with this black man, because an on code black man, the first critical question he's going to ask this white boy is, why are you coming to my community to be a DJ when you can go to your own community and be a DJ? And when you think about that question critically, you say, look, this white male, if he had any sort of worth in this world, he'd be in his own community making money. He wouldn't be coming to my community. And the only reason why he's probably coming to my community is because he is looking to exploit the people of the black community. And that's what this man wanted to do, this monster, this perverted sexual deviant. What he wanted to do was come to the black community because he knew that the black community was vulnerable, and he knew that because many black girls are spellbound by Hollywood, and when they hear promises of fame, when they hear promises of having a career in entertainment, they are going to go along with those promises because they believe that this guy is actually going to take them to fame. And because there is no fathers and men in the community to look at this guy and vet him and find out, hey, if this guy is DJing here, then how can he get anybody any sort of music career? Because basically, this white dude was basically a bum. And any black man with common sense will tell you that if this guy is coming to my community to talk about being a DJ, basically he is a bum. The top white guys, they can go out here and get into clubs. They're not going to come to some black neighborhood looking to go there to have anything. They're going to go into the clubs in the white community and make their money. But this monster, he came to the black community because he knew that black women were gullible, he knew that black women were easily led, and he knew that there was no leader in the black community to protect them and vet a monster like this. That's the main reason why he came to our community, is because he knew that there was nobody there to protect the black women in that community and protect especially the young black girls. And that's the saddest thing about this whole DJ Kid situation, is because there were no men in the community to protect young black girls. These young black girls who are as young as 13, 14, 15, 16 years old, their lives may possibly have been destroyed by this monster. And that's why I cannot just sit there and talk about the deification and worship of white men, because this was a failure on the part of the black community, because we have no institution of a black family. If we had an institution of a black family in place with a father in the home, in many of these cases, we might have been able to stop this sexual predator from exploiting our children. Because this man's, what he had done, this could have happened to anybody's daughter, but this man came to the black community because he knew if he pulled this stuff in any other community, this man would be 6 feet under. I mean, if this man came to the Muslim community with that mess, they would have done something to that man almost immediately, because that would have been considered an affront in that community, and they would have taken immediate action to deal with your DJ Kid in the worst way. Now, if he had come over, again, to other communities, those men would have dealt with this DJ Kid, and they would have dealt with him harshly, because for this man to come into their communities, they're going to start asking questions. But he came to our community because no one asks questions, no one has standards, no one has a code, and that's why this monster was allowed to come into our community and exploit young black girls in the worst way. Because these young black girls, again, they were being led with the lie that this man was going to help them with a music career and help them in entertainment. And this monster used that as a way on social media to manipulate young girls who did not know anything better and was out here using them for sex and then using them for sex trafficking. And this man, again, operating ever since 2011, this is quite troubling because, again, it shows a failure on our criminal justice system, whether it be willful or intentional. And again, I think they did this because they knew that there was nobody, they thought these black lives didn't matter, so they thought they could just do whatever they wanted and let this man go on. This man was a sexual deviant, and he was running around for years, and he willfully and intentionally was infecting young black girls with malice aforethought. That man is a murderer, plain and simple, in my mind, because this man has destroyed the lives of young black girls, and he did this, again, because he did not see a value to black life. So I look at this DJ Kid, and again, I cannot go sit there and talk about deification and worship of white men when clearly this man is a sexual predator, and he's a sexual predator of the worst kind. I mean, to go after little children on social media shows how absolutely sick and depraved this man is, and this man deserves more than life in prison in my mind. This man deserves the death penalty, and he deserves a nice long stay in the 9th level of the hottest part of hell. If you'd like to see me make more videos like this, you can donate to my Patreon, my PayPal, or my Cash App by clicking the link in the description box. And if you want to try some of my SJS Direct publications, you may do so by clicking the link to Amazon.com. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe.